Hey everybody, I am so excited to be here tonight on our team Zoom with the one and only Mandy Dehlbom. You guys, she is an incredible leader on our team. She is someone that just exudes amazing leadership. She is consistent, she is passionate, and she is a really, really dear friend to me. And you guys are going to want to hear what she has to share tonight because she has built a very strong business utilizing social media. And I know I love chatting with people when I'm out and about, talking to them about Plexus, but there is something about leveraging the power of social media because I don't get to see my family in Michigan. And I can't talk to 200 people at once, and I might do a post and have 200 people see it. And so she is really going to walk through the strategy that she uses to consistently, and that's the thing that I love the most about it, she consistently grows her team. So Mandy, I'm just going to let you take it away, and we are all ears and so excited to hear from you.
I tell you what, you guys have not lived until you've been introduced to people or an event by Melissa. Like she's, I feel like royalty right now. And this happens every time. She has this amazing gift. So I am really excited to share with you what I've been doing, what has been working for me and a lot of people on our team. And I have been getting so many just really encouraging and sweet messages from people cheering me on and also saying that they cannot wait to learn my secret. And so I'm either going to massively disappoint you or massively encourage you when I say there is no secret. There is no secret. I am doing what Plexus is training us to do. And truthfully, I could share exactly what I'm doing from start to finish in like 10 minutes. But if you're like me, like I don't want to be told what to do. I want to know why before I buy into it. So I'm going to go through the why of it all as well, like why it works, why it matters, why you want to be doing it. And then I also like want to give you a little bit of insight into where I was when I found Plexus. And this is actually my fourth anniversary, February. And so I want to share what my business looked like then versus what it looks like now. Okay, so I have notes and you guys feel free to take notes because when I get into kind of the meat of things, I'm going to be providing as many lists as possible so you can just jot notes down. So I grew up in a small town in Alaska. I have always had anxiety and later on in my adult life, PTSD, social anxiety, and I just kind of lived as the hermit. I was afraid of people. I wasn't sure that I liked people. Don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but that's kind of the truth. I didn't stay in touch with high school friends. I didn't stay in touch with college friends. And I certainly wasn't using social media to build relationships. It just didn't occur to me. I talked about pets, football, silly things, but I wasn't really using it. So I'm telling you all of this because I really want you to understand that everything that I've learned, everything that I'm going to be talking about is a skill that you can learn. There's no magic. There's no secret. Like maybe you're a little bit better at it naturally, but you can learn it. And so totally be encouraged. Social media actually brought Plexus to me. My sponsor, Rachel Hofstedt, sent me a friend request because I grew up with her husband in Alaska. And we started talking about the business and I pretty much like shut it down. I desperately needed the money, but I just thought, this requires me to talk to people and build relationships. Like I have to actually have people to sell the products to. So that's not going to work for me. And I waited about 8 months and I tried a 7-day sample, loved it, and started sharing my experience with like the most cheesiest, ridiculous graphics that I could find on Google because that is all I knew. I'm like embarrassed. I hope I never don't ever go 4 years back. Hopefully I deleted it because it's that bad. So my best friend and my dad joined me, I think, because they knew I needed the money and they were worried about this like venture of mine. And then I grabbed someone else and I became a silver. And I thought, well, shoot, like I need to get my products paid for. I'm broke as a joke. And if I'm going to do that, I might as well like pay my student loans with this income. So that's for me, like when the learning really started and I had to get to work because I had influence over my cat and my colleagues. That was like it. So I had to learn to build social or relationships on social media because I didn't have anyone in my life to like go to and look them in the eyeballs and say, you're doing this with me. And today, like 98% of my business is still on social media. I probably have added, I don't know, 150 ambassadors or something like that. And most of them were strangers or people I hadn't talked to in like 5, 10, 20 years. So just be encouraged. Like if I can do it, you can do it. My business for the first couple of years was fun. It was super fast paced. I went to Senior Ruby, I think in a year and a half, which was crazy. And it just consisted of a bunch of people that were clueless like I was. We didn't have a system. We were just working our bunsies off and month after month doing, all the things. And it was really time consuming. And I still remember like pacing the parking lot at my apartment, leaving message after message after message for these poor people, why the products worked, all the ingredients, what it did for my life, like just vomiting all of this stuff. And I think we were all kind of doing that. We just didn't have like the videos and stuff that we have now. So it was on us. We didn't know what we were doing. And there were several times when I thought, all right, we're going to go for Emerald. Like, this is it. We're going. And then things slowed down, like way down. We found ourselves in this massive state of overwhelm because we were trying to do all the things. We were talking nonstop to people. We really weren't able to duplicate because most people can't just like join Plexus and have all these massive conversations with people. And I learned that overwhelmed people quit because they're tired, they're discouraged, they don't know what to do, how to prioritize, and they're not having fun. And I lost a lot of leaders, and I had to constantly recruit people to fight the attrition that was happening. So what we were doing worked because I was a senior Ruby. Everyone was having some degree of success, but it just wasn't really sustainable for the long term. So that's why I was rejoicing when about a year and a half ago, Melissa for our team really started this, but just simplifying the system, creating a system for one, simplifying it. And then what do you know, Plexus did the same thing. And they brought into this to us new strategies, new videos, and we just kind of went back to the basics and really focused on the main things. So today, I'm going to give you a lot of information. Take notes. I am going to talk a little bit about social media because I know people really want to know what works, but I really want to focus not so much on the algorithms, not so much on how to be compelling, but how to be social, and how being social on social media is going to give you the most bang for your buck, and also how to utilize the send, share, invite process, because I promise you, that's all I'm doing. Like, that is all I'm doing. I have cut out all of the talking and all the things that I used to do because it wasn't serving me. It wasn't serving my team. All right. So I want to point out some really great resources. I'm not going to go through everything because I value your time, but I want you to know that these exist. I use them. My team uses them. A lot of people already use them. They're fantastic. If you have not gone into your virtual office, look in the resources and training center because Plexus has given us all these steps, all of these really incredible documents. Some of you are going to like some of them. Some of you are going to ignore some. I mean, you can kind of pick and choose what you want, but tons of training and really, really great information. One of those things that I love is this scripts workbook, which is also in digital format. And I'm not saying that we all need to be robots. Not at all. But if you have like some kind of a launching pad, if you had some basic scripts that you can tweak to personalize and make your job a little easier, especially if you're a new ambassador, this is a really great tool. In our team files, we have the How to Share Plexus document that I co-wrote with Melissa and Amanda, and we launched it like a year and a half ago, and that's been really great. And also a document called Messages for Connecting and Building Relationships on Social Media. And it is truly what I use when I talk to people on social media. Like all of those messages I use. And a lot of them came from like Bob Heilig, Sarah Robbins, other, other Instagram leaders and stuff that are using messages. Subscribe to the Plexus Worldwide YouTube channel because they have uploaded a lot of really great videos and categorize them. So it makes it easier than ever to find things. And lastly, when we upload this video to the team page, I will put like actual verbiage, actual things that I say in the comments, and you guys can save those, use them, tweak them, whatever you want to do. But I will make that available. Just don't want to go through all of that tonight. Is that okay, Melissa? Okay. All right. There are two things that you have to do to be successful with these strategies. The first is you have to be organized. We know that it takes 8 to 15 contacts before people will make a decision, for the most part, most people. And so if you are not documenting these conversations and keeping track of them, you're most likely not going to get to that point where people are ready to make a decision, which means you're not going to be helping them. And that's like the whole purpose of this. So you have to be organized. And also, when you are ready to get to work, you want to get to work. Like you want to know who you're talking to every day. When I got organized, it saved me so much time because I didn't have to spend 20 minutes finding the 5 people that I wanted to talk to. And lastly, on the organization front, keep your messages and your lists of videos in the notes of your phone. So I have product videos, business videos. I have, kind of the main things I say about the benefits of being an ambassador or the welcome packs, or just kind of copy and paste verbiage. And I have it titled in the notes of my phone because my business truly is like a copy and paste business outside of like personalizing it for that particular person. So that's going to save you a ton of time. The second thing you need to do is be consistent. You have to be consistent on social media and when you're building relationships, because consistency breeds like credibility and familiarity. It lets people know that like who you are and that you're going to be around. And when you think about all the choices that people have to purchase products, purchase from their friends, join different companies. I mean, people have more choices than ever. You want to be that person that's there, that's talking about their experience, that's following up. Like you just want to be consistent so that when people are ready, they know to choose you. I mean, I have people come up to me quite often that don't even really know me. And they're like, hey, I've been watching your posts for years or whatever the case is, and you're not going anywhere. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to join you. There is a lot of power in consistency. All right. My first strategy is being social on social media. All right. Social media is a super amazing, fantastic, free way to communicate to masses of people. And like Melissa was saying, I'm not saying that this is better than an in-person conversation. It's not, but if you're wanting to talk to a lot of people, it is. And for me, like I just didn't have those people to talk to. So this is what I used. And it's really amazing that we have this tool. It used to require a lot of time. It used to require a lot of posts. Like back in the day, we were saying like 3 posts a day and stuff. That was part of, the overwhelm that we were experiencing, just a lot of work. Fortunately, a lot has changed. So Facebook and Instagram have kind of gone back to the basics, and they are rewarding people for genuine engagement using their platforms. They want you talking. They want you like asking questions. They want you putting out material that matters. So quality over quantity, which is good for most of us because it's hard. It was hard to think of 3 things to post about a day, every day, minimum sometimes, right? And you may be discouraged, like if you follow some of our Plexus leaders and you're looking at these Instagram accounts and there's 10, 20, 30,000 followers and you see them on the leaderboard, it would be tempting to think that you have to duplicate that to be successful, that you have to, it's like a herd of cats outside, that you have to replicate this beautiful, professional, jet setter kind of account. You can do that. Like it's a skill. You can do that. But what I've learned, because I tried that for a summer and wasn't for me. What I learned is that these women have spent, like, they've made it a full-time job. That's what they were interested in, made it a full-time job, and they spent years on their Instagram accounts before they joined Plexus. So I really want to make that clear so that you don't think that you have to like add all this pressure to yourself to be this amazing social media person to build a thriving business, because you just don't. Give yourself permission to start where you're at, learn what you want, but just be consistent and learn new skills and show up on social media. Okay, here are 6 tips. Again, I'm not really going to be talking about being super compelling. These are things that are going to like connect you with people and elicit an emotional response, because you really want to be connecting, entertaining, inspiring, educating. That's really your goal. So my first tip, use pictures of you. Practice those selfies. If you have a good makeup or clothes day or something, take a lot of pictures. Stand by a tree, stand by a wall, sit in your car, whatever. Take a lot of pictures. Have people take pictures of you. Use pictures of your kids. Like, use pictures of real people, because people are connected to other people. Use good lighting and have clear, crisp images. They don't have to be beautiful. But if people can't see your eyes or they can't see your face, it's hard for them to connect with you. And if you're hiding behind a bunch of filters, I know this is not gonna make me popular. If you're hiding behind a bunch of filters and cartoon ears, that's like super funny and fitting sometimes, but people, again, can't really connect with that. And they can't really connect with product pictures. So use them if you want, but just use them minimally. That's all I'll say about that. 2, talk about things that matter to you. Your job is not to appeal to everybody. You can't. Talk about things that you care about, like Shark Week cats, beekeeping, whatever it is. Talk about those things and be okay just being you. Like, the world needs you. And on that note, you are not Plexus, okay? You love Plexus, you represent Plexus, but it is just a part of your life. Again, like your passions, your faith, your family, whatever it is, it makes up this beautiful person, but you are not Plexus. So don't blast your feed with Plexus posts all the time. And this may be controversial, I'm just gonna say it, but a lot of people, including me, have taken off the website, or my Plexus website, my Plexus rank, Plexus ID, because if you're in a relationship building mode and you're friend requesting people, sometimes that can be a barrier. There's so many people in network marketing now that sometimes people will see your profile and they'll be like, oh, Plexus, she's trying to sell me something, which, I mean, it's unfortunate that is, but it opened a lot of doors for me when I kind of scaled back on the profile information and led with who I was and what I was interested in instead. So that's up to you. That's what has worked for me. Engage with people on social media. And that does not mean scroll. Does not mean just sitting there scrolling with people. In fact, Facebook, you guys might not know this, Facebook actually measures the time that you spend scrolling versus the time that you spend engaging. And it feeds into these algorithms, which I'm not really going to talk about that a lot, but just think of it as like a video game or something where you can earn points. And the more points that you earn by following the rules, the more visibility your posts have and the more people are seeing your content. So Bob Heilig also said that the easiest way to build relationships is to comment on people's posts, because they're already putting out there things that matter to them, right? Like, how many Super Bowl posts were there yesterday? They're talking about stuff. They're inviting you to engage. You don't have to like think of, this amazing conversation starter. So comment on people's posts. 4 words or more is the rule. And that's all I'll say about the algorithms. 4 words or more is really what it means to engage in terms of the algorithms. Number 4, Instagram and Facebook have a messenger app. Use it. You will be so rewarded, not only on the relationship building side of things, But Facebook and Instagram are going to be like looking at these things and saying, oh my gosh, Mandy's talking to Melissa. Mandy loves Melissa. Mandy wants to see Melissa's post. And so when you use the messenger apps, you're actually kind of getting a double whammy in that you can talk to them, not even about Plexus, but they're going to start seeing your posts, your Plexus posts, your other non-Plexus posts. It's just the way that Facebook rewards you for engaging and building relationships. It's kind of cool. So what I might do is send messages, which I'll talk about later, but maybe I'll send a message and then go right to their profile and leave a comment or something. Just kind of playing with that a little bit. There's a lot of ways that you can maximize your impact. We talked about consistency. This would be my rule number 5. It's just make a goal to post once a day, you know, be present. Again, it is quality over quantity. So if you're posting frequently, if you're posting a lot, Facebook is gonna not really give a lot of value, I guess, give those points to those posts. They just want to, so think about what you're going to say, I guess. Sometimes people will share a bunch of articles and they'll share a lot of things from other websites and stuff, and Facebook just doesn't really like that. So be mindful of that. And for those people, like if you have these rock stars in mind or people that like desperately need Plexus, there is a see first feature. I found this a couple years ago and I use this all the time. You can set a see first, like you follow somebody and then it will give you different categories. Select see first for up to 30 people. And then every time you pick up your phone and open your Facebook app, it's going to show you their post. So that is a massive time saver as well. And you can turn on post notifications for Instagram too. So those are just kind of the things that I'm aware of, things that have been really, really working for me because I'm using the tools kind of behind the scenes, the messengers and stuff. And then I'm also posting. Oh, stories. I forgot. Post once a day, but do those stories. You guys, people are looking at stories like crazy now, like more than ever. And what's really cool is you can put stuff in your stories, walk away from your phone all day if you need to, and you're still going to have stuff kind of looping in there, like educational, entertaining, stuff to get people to know you. You can ask questions. You can ask people to vote. Like, it's really, really fun, and it's not hard at all. Like, you can post 10 or 15 images in one whack, just ding, and put it in your stories if you want. And so that has been really nice. Like, it has given me a lot of time away from my phone, to be honest. All right, Melissa, do you have any questions or anything before I dive into like the send, share, invite portion of this?
The only thing that I would want you to reiterate and talk about, and before we get into the next part, which I'm so excited for you to cover, is talking about commenting on like Plexus people's posts versus non-Plexus people, and like how important that is and how that's made a difference in your news feed and stuff like that.
I hope I can answer this correctly.
Okay.
So
well, I don't think that there's correct or incorrect, but go ahead. I want to hear what your thoughts are.
Okay. So if you are engaged, like commenting on people's posts, like my Plexus brothers and sisters, I want to support them. If those are the only people that I'm engaging with, those are the only people whose posts I'm going to see primarily. However, it does help them. Like, it does. The more comments and the more questions that are in those comments, it keeps the post alive. Like, it keeps it circulating. Algorithms were basically written because there's millions upon bajillions of posts every single day. And Facebook has got to keep their customers happy by sharing or showing them information that they want to see. So they're looking at who you're engaging with, and that's how they make the determination of what content you want to see. So if you're only commenting on Plexus people's posts, that's most likely what you're going to see. And you can do that. Like, we want to support our brothers and sisters, absolutely. But if you're using Messenger and you're commenting on other people's posts, for me, it hasn't really been an issue. I'm still seeing my non-Plexus people's stuff. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Because social proofing is huge, meaning that if you post a Plexus post and you have 3, 4, 5, 10 Plexus people coming behind you, sharing before and after, telling their experience, like that is going to be huge for your non-Plexus audience to see like, oh, this is working for more than just Dawn. There are other people in this community, and look at how encouraging and supportive this community is. And so it is important that we love on one another. But I know I've gotten into places in my business before where all I'm doing is commenting on, I'm giving the team the love, but I'm not remembering to go back and comment on my potentials, the people that I need to follow up with, the people that I would love to join me, the people that I like have my eye on and that I want to talk to you about Plexus. And so it's really important to balance. So I think that's perfect. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? You can even like tag your potentials on the post when you get a lot of people like dropping comments and stuff. Be like, Lindsay, did you see this? I mean, you're not pressuring them. You just want them to genuinely see it. And chances are, if you're using Messenger to contact those people, like that is exactly what happened in January. I really like, my goals are big, you guys. So I'm not advocating that we duplicate this, but I spent a lot of time on Messenger. And all of a sudden, like people were coming out of the woodwork. I re-signed ambassadors. I had people that joined as customers. I mean, it was a really amazing month because I had people commenting on my posts like crazy because I was using Messenger a lot. So, okay, moving on. The second strategy that I use is this send, share, invite system. And it's basically a 3-step system. It's based on just layering information about Plexus with your potentials and giving them opportunities to hear from people other than you, which is like the easiest way I can explain it. And I got to test this out firsthand. So my sister Elise was on this show called The Bachelor, which most of us maybe you've heard of it. Like, even if you haven't watched it, she was on Colton's season. She was the redhead in the $4 blue dress or whatever it was. But she talked about Plexus because it has legit kept her out of hospitals and stuff. She used to get like the plague several times a year. All of a sudden, like everything just blew up. And I cannot even tell you how crazy it got, but I counted over 300 conversations I had. And had I not been using this system, I think I would have died. Like, it was a matter of survival. I had to get Rachel and Melissa like feeding me social media content because I couldn't even keep up. But I did the same thing every single time with every single person. And I think I enrolled like 40 people in a couple months. I sent out way over 100 samples. I'm still having conversations going, but that was absolute proof that this system works because those people I had zero influence or relationship with, like none. They were complete strangers. So I did get to test it firsthand. It worked then. It's still working now. So the first step is send. Let me scroll down on my notes here. I already talked about how I send a lot of messages on or through the apps. I send messages to people that are my new Facebook friends, new Instagram followers. If they like or comment on posts, I'm sending happy birthday messages. I'm sending Merry Christmas. How did you celebrate your holiday? I really try to end things in a question to kind of get a conversation going, but I am messaging people a lot. And most of my messages actually aren't about Plexus because I know if I'm doing a good job on the social media side of it, like my posts, my stories, I can just enjoy the conversation and they're going to be seeing my stuff for the most part. I'm going to be seeing their stuff. I'm going to be commenting on their posts. And it's just kind of like this double whammy sort of thing that's happening on the social media side and then behind the scenes through the messengers or messenger apps. And you need to determine like what your goals are and scale your activity to match. I'm not going to tell you like what that looks like, but I will say like, just imagine if you sent Plexus messages to 3 people a day for 5 days a week. You will have talked to 60 people in 1 month. Never mind everyone that's commenting on posts and all this stuff. Like 60 people a month is pretty significant. So with this system, I think it's really easy to do that because I know when I was talking to a lot of people years ago, it was like, I want to talk to a lot of people, but I was also scared to talk to a lot of people because the conversation side of it took forever for me. All the explanations and we just didn't have these videos. Now I know it's a conversation. Fantastic. I have exactly what I need to send to them. So we start talking about plexus. I move on to the share step. Step 2, share. And this is the way my business has changed. And a lot of our businesses have changed. When I start talking about plexus now, I kind of stop talking. Like, seriously. It's a well-known rule in the sales world that the more you talk, the less you sell. And Bob Heilig is really teaching about this too, like not to present yourself as the expert, to like shut your flapper, ask some questions, but send your third-party resources to do the explanation and the convincing and the compelling and the emotional connection. It just serves us in so many ways. Plus, it's a time saver, big time. And this was kind of hard at first because if you are a seasoned ambassador or you love to talk a lot, or maybe you come from like the health and wellness community, maybe you're a doctor or a nurse and you know the science and you know the products, it can be really challenging to not talk. And I really had to like humble myself and realize that there was a better way. And it wasn't because I couldn't or that I wasn't able or capable. It's just because there was a better way. And this way works. And so I use third-party resources like crazy. Like I feel like I'm just sending videos all the time, and it's working and it's keeping conversations going. So here's a list within a list. There's 3 reasons why social third-party resources like videos and testimonies really, really work. So your friends, they care about your story. They do. And some might join based on your story alone. But they want to hear from other people. Like Melissa was saying, there's that social proofing. They want to see what other people are saying. And I think we're all kind of like this because like how many times has your mom told you to do something or not do something, or your spouse, and you totally tune it out. And then someone else comes along and they say the same thing. You're like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to do that. Or it just clicks or something. It's because multiple people other than, you know, the people that you love or whatever are saying the same thing. That is part of social proofing. People want to hear from other people. And this is the second one. And I think this is really important because it takes the pressure off of you. If you send a video, say you send the Dr. Logan gut health video and your friend still is like, I'm totally not interested, or I'm broke, or not now, or whatever. It's like, okay, you're just not ready. All right, I'll circle back later. On the other hand, if you have spent 5 minutes of your time explaining why they need it, why the products work, why you just believe in it, all this stuff, and they tell you no, you're gonna be like, like it's a whole different mindset or way of looking at it. You're gonna feel like I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda, I didn't do this correctly. I didn't use the magic words. I'm a total failure. Like I quit or whatever. You're going to beat yourself up for the most part, especially if you're a new ambassador. And what I love is that new ambassadors can step into this business from a position of like confidence, knowing that all the material that they're going to hand off is professional and compelling and beautiful. And it's not on them to do all of the talking. The third thing is duplication. And again, I don't mean to talk about Bob Heilig so much, but Bob Heilig, he said, because we love him, he said, every time you talk to somebody, you're training them and showing them what this business is about. And I never thought about that before. But how many times have we heard people say, I couldn't do this because I can't do what you do, or I'm not a salesperson or something. And this is what happens when you're doing a lot of talking. So right now I'm doing a lot of talking, but if I was telling Melissa all of the things that I loved and why she needs plexus and all of this stuff, whether she's aware of it or not, she's going to associate me with being a salesperson. And most people want to head for the hills. They'd rather do that than be a salesperson. person. And so, again, they don't want to be a salesperson, so they don't want to join your business. They can't often, or they feel like they can't do what you've just done, like rattle off 15 minutes of stuff. And also, if you're going after those like busy, driven, motivated people, the last thing they want to do is join something that is complicated and time consuming because they're busy. And so you have to present Plexus in a simple, uncomplicated, compelling way. And the only real way that I've ever found to do this is to use those little 2, 3, 4, 5-minute videos that we love so much, that the ABARTs have created, that Plexus has created. And sometimes I'll use things from other videos from other resources, like Melissa's Opportunity of a Lifetime video. I use that a lot. Plexus has ABARTs have Stories of Hope. I can't remember. Anyways, they have Because of Plexus, all the little product videos. They have opportunity videos. They have things in Spanish. Like, there is no reason that we even need to be talking convincing. We can just use videos. Okay. So when I'm chatting about Plexus with somebody, I will often ask, what goals or challenges would you love to address? And I'm not telling them, I want to hear your health goals. I'm just saying, what goals? Like, leaving it open. They just tell me, blab, whatever. And then I say, if I sent you a quick video, would you watch it? Simple as that. And they say yes. No one has ever said, no, I don't want to see your 2-minute video. Everyone has said yes. And I just hand them something. And then I say, what did you find encouraging? What did you find appealing? What resonated with you? And then maybe they want to watch another video. It's kind of this back and forth layering process. And often, most of the time, I will say, all right, well, now that you know about gut health, may I add you to Let's Get Healthy? It's our private team testimonial page, and tag you in some stories that you can relate to or that you'll find encouraging. And most of the time, they'll say yes. And there is power in asking these questions, because you are getting their permission to share information. You are, like, for me anyway, it makes me feel like I'm serving them and truly helping them and not being pushy. And I always ask permission before I add people to a group. And I think this is really important, especially today when we have so many network marketing companies, which is amazing. Our industry is growing like crazy, but I'm really going to encourage you guys to be courageous and be bold and ask for permission before you add people to any groups, because we want to set ourselves apart. We want to do things the right way. And we all know how it feels when we open up Facebook and all of a sudden we're in 39 groups from people that I would never have even talked to us, don't even know if we like the products, need the products, whatever. So I ask permission, and that makes me feel good. I mean, no one says no when you're asking them for permission to like watch a video or something. Okay, we covered that. Now we have events happening all the time, lots of variety of events. So step 3 is invite. Inviting people to events, again, is what Melissa was saying about social proofing. It allows people to experience our culture, our community, our leadership. Maybe it's a product experience. They get to sample some things, but it is like so powerful for them. And it is such a great way to show people Plexus. Right now, we have 3-day challenge groups. We have 60-minute events. We have Sip and Sees. We have corporate hosted events, which I don't know if you guys have watched those. They're like 20 minutes and they're really good. And then we have like Diamonds and other leaders and jewels doing events on YouTube, and they are amazing. Like, they're so amazing. And it's just really nice to invite people and sit back, let other people do the magic and do the work. I want to encourage you guys to get really familiar with all these types of events, because sometimes I think we can kind of get locked into like, well, this is how I process information. This is what I'm interested in. This is how I learn. And we need to value diversity and plug people in to the events that best serve them. Like, if I'm trying to get like a professional career person on my team, I'm probably going to send them to a really kind of polished event with like leaders talking about the business side of things. If I'm talking to somebody that really wants to try the products, they've got some time to engage and they want a fun experience, interactive, the 3-day challenges are perfect. You're not going to go wrong inviting people, but just remember there are 2 events, but there's a variety for a reason. Like different people like different things. So I think in summary, I post on social media, I post on my stories, I send messages, I send videos, I invite people, get them to the point where they're, ready to make a decision about an order. And once we start talking about the products and the best way to order, I'm simply like leading with the best, which is, usually Ambassador, if it's a combination of products, leading with the $199 welcome packs, providing the best option. And then it gives me room to kind of step down if I need to, if there's like some sort of objection or something. And that's basically, that's my system. And I want to say one more thing, just one more thing. Because I've been with Plexus for 4 years, because I've experienced a lot, I've experienced multiple ways to do this. I want to say something. If you're watching this and maybe you stepped away from your business because you got burnt out, maybe you felt overwhelmed, maybe you felt like what you were doing wasn't really, I don't even want to say working, but it wasn't getting you the results that you wanted. Or maybe 2019 hit you like a dang freight train, because that has happened to some of us. Like it was just a year and we had to step back and reprioritize for whatever reason. I really want to encourage you to like lean in again and make the decision that your goals are worth it. Give yourself grace and permission to come back. Maybe you lost a portion of your team. I did. Most of us did. That's normal. Like that's going to happen. It's not fun, but because it's normal, you just have to realize you built it once, you can build it again. And now we have the best products, the best like material, third-party resources and tools. We have an actual system that's duplicatable. Like life is good in Plexus land. And I don't want people to miss out because they're focusing on what was or what didn't work. Or, I have a lot of people that are like, I'm afraid to like come back because I've lost credibility or whatever. Like just, that's my cats. Just forget all that and come back. Like it is a fun time to be a part of this. It is a simple business now. And that's all I'm going to say, Melissa.
Okay, so I have a few questions. Okay. Mandy, so I know that there are people on this call and they are ready. Like they are ready to hit their goals this year. So we have people that are working towards silver. We have people that are working towards gold and beyond. And they're showing up here tonight because they want to do the work. And so you have walked them through an amazing system, which you guys, that is spot on, everything that Mandy said. Can you go back over, you mentioned it earlier, the amount of people that you would be reaching out to daily if you have goals in Plexus? Like how many people are you messaging a day?
I'm so sorry for this, what you're hearing.
Oh, we can't hear anything. I can. Yeah.
Okay. Like how many would I like specifically recommend for a particular rank, you think? Or
I'm ready to work my business. I'm on your team. I want to hit silver. I want to hit gold. That's my goals. How many people are you going to encourage me to be messaging daily? Or I'm not silver yet, but I want to be an emerald. Like I want to be a jewel with Plexus. So what are you going to challenge them to do?
I mean, I truly, truly believe outside of leadership, personal development mindset, outside of that, I truly believe that you can build a good income if you are solidly, like you come with your list, you know who you're talking to, 15 to 20 minutes a day, you're sending messages. That might not be it's hard because like some goal, like Emerald's big. So for me, you guys, I'm spending a lot more time than that, but my goals are really big. I truly believe that 20 minutes of solid messaging or 15 minutes of solid messaging, because you can send 3 to 4 messages really a minute almost. Like if you know who you're talking to, I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but if once you get into your rhythm and you kind of know what you're going to say, like maybe you're messaging all of your new people that you've accepted onto Facebook or something, your new Facebook friends, or maybe it's a Merry Christmas message or whatever. Sometimes it's going to go faster, but if you don't allow yourself to get distracted and you know who you're going to talk to, I don't see why 15 or 20 minutes couldn't accomplish a lot if you're doing it consistently, because that all adds up. I mean, what's that's 5 times 100 is, or 5 days times 20 minutes is like 100 minutes, right? Yeah. I'm an English teacher, but that, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm probably spending like an hour to 2 hours now because I'm making a big jump in my business. Big jump.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, I don't know. What do you think, Melissa?
Like, I love that. I mean, I would think if you have goals in Plexus, we should be reaching out to at minimum 3 to 5 people a day. But if you have big goals, why not reach out to 10, 15, 20? And it's a process and a cycle. I think sometimes we can be like reaching out to people and then we're like, oh, I don't have anyone else to reach out to. Well, that's why as you're connecting, you're also building more relationships. You're being active in Facebook groups. You're continuing to grow your network, really leveraging and utilizing social media. One thing that I've heard Mandy say many times is social media is so that we can be social. Like, let's be social. So I wanted to say that we have a 3-day challenge coming up. And so it would be easy, this would be easy for you guys to send 20 to 25 messages using Jen Leith's direct ask. Okay, now I often say we're better than the script, but in this case, I also say sometimes the script just works, okay? So yeah. Jen Leith has this direct ask method, and I want you guys just to listen to this. You can try and jot it down, but just listen, and I'll read it a couple times in case you're jotting it down. I can put the verbiage in the recording of this too. But it just says, hey girl, wondering, I mean, you might use their name, okay? So like, hey Mandy, wondering, would you like to do a 3-day challenge with me? It's $19.95, free shipping. You get 4 products to use for 3 days, plus you get to have fun with me on a Facebook page. You up for it? Question mark. Like that, we could send that message out to 100 people. Like we could send that message out to every single person that we are connected with on social. And that is just an easy kind of copy paste one that you do. Do we want all of our messages to be like that? No, you're going to be like authentic. You're going to connect. But that is like low cost. I mean, if you sent that message to 20 people, you would be able to pick up 1 person, okay? Here's a good follow-up verbiage. Hey, we talked about Plexus before, and then I never followed up. Sorry. I have an idea. Why don't you just do a 3-day challenge with me? It's $19.95, free shipping, and starts on February 10th. Are you up for it? You get 4 products to try for 3 days. Easy. I mean, someone might just come back and be like, tell me, like, what products? Tell me more. And then I love her verbiage here. Slim, active, lean, and metaburn. In English, that's just the pink drink, our natural energy drink, whey protein powder, and an adaptogen product that helps with emotional eating and energy. Like, she's just like, boom, 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 boom. Like, simple questions, keeping it simple. In this case, you can just use that simple verbiage. You could also send over some videos on the products if you wanted to. But it really is just about, if we can remove like the emotions out of it sometimes. Again, this is like in the times when we're just messaging people, and just think like, I'm going to ask 20 people if they want to do this 3-day challenge. And I'm going to take the feelings and the emotions out of it. The worst that can happen is they're like, no, girl, I'm not interested in that at all. But thanks for thinking of me, or thanks for asking. But the best thing that could happen is you could have someone jump in on the 3-day challenge, love their experience, join as an ambassador, and be your first diamond, right? So the positive so far outweighs the negative. And so I want your call to action tonight to be, and really we need to be having these conversations before Wednesday. We need to get these orders placed. We need to give people time to get their products. So tonight and tomorrow and by Wednesday, I want you to have invited 20 people to our 3-day challenge using that direct ask. Okay, and I'll put the verbiage on the team page. There are a couple of questions, Mandy, in the comments. Can I read them to you, and would you answer?
Oh, I love being put on the spot. Yes, go for
it. I'll help you out. Don't worry, you got this. Okay, so Dawn said, it is time consuming to engage with a lot of people. How do you decide how long to be on and with who? Facebook, Instagram, and then would you say we still needed to post daily about Plexus? So let's take the first part. Like, how do you decide who? Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, so it can be time consuming to engage with lots of people, but you have to remember not everyone's going to engage. Not everyone's going to read your message. Some people are just going to flat out ignore you or forget to respond or whatever. So just because I'm messaging a lot of people doesn't mean that I'm actually having a lot of conversations, but that's okay because they're still seeing my posts. Like, it's just this double, I don't know. It's like this extra layer of like insurance or something, I guess. How do you decide how long to be on? Well, I decide if I'm going to spend 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever my day allows. I'm going to be doing something every day. And I know, like, it's not reasonable for everyone to say I'm going to spend 30 minutes every day. Sometimes it's going to be 40 minutes. Sometimes it's going to be 5. Sometimes it might be none. It can be a nooks and crannies kind of thing. Do we need to post daily about Plexus? I don't. I don't, because I usually have something going on in my stories. Or maybe I'm not even saying Plexus. Maybe I'm just saying like, hey, I hit the gym today. Maybe I'm talking a lifestyle thing. Maybe I'm sharing about new friends that I've made. There's a lot of ways that you can talk about Plexus without mentioning Plexus, without using the hashtags, because it is a lifestyle. So I don't have firm rules on how often you should be posting about Plexus, but I can say if you're only posting one time a day, then you don't want all of your posts to be about Plexus. Otherwise, you're going to have 7 days of only Plexus posts, and it's not attractive to people. What do you think, Melissa?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think make it lifestyle, like you had talked about earlier. I mean, sometimes it's like me and my family driving in the car, and we have our pink drinks in the car, but I'm talking about a road trip that we're going on. But I'm wearing a Plexus shirt, and you see my pink drinks. So that's like people are still seeing like, oh, they're traveling. And so you want it to be in your life, but like the direct Plexus post every single day, you gotta be weaving in your personal life. You gotta keep people excited about what you're doing now. Back in the day when I was posting 3 times a day, like Shayna Eads will remember this. Like there are some people out here, and I was posting 3 times a day, and I was posting about Plexus every single day. But I thought to myself, I'm gonna keep my people here, because they're going to wonder, like, what's going on with my cute kids? What's the next concert that we're going to? Like, what yummy meal are we cooking? And so I made sure to keep all of the other stuff in there as well. So you definitely want to do that. But yeah, the more active you are on social media, the more people are going to be able to engage with you, the more people are going to see your stuff. So you want to be present once a day, via newsfeed, via stories, via commenting, messaging. Show up. Like, you guys might not see me post on my newsfeed for 3 or 4 days, but you bet I'm in my stories, right? You might not see me be posting in my stories, but that might be because I'm working Messenger like crazy. So I'm showing up somewhere on social media each and every day. And honestly, it's a rare day that I'm getting a Facebook post up, I have my stories going, I'm engaging on social media. I wish it, it's a rare day when I'm like knocking it out in every single area. So that was a good question. Okay, so Marilyn had asked, are you using the opportunity video followed by the plan? So that 8-minute opportunity of a lifetime video, Mandy.
Hmm. I actually sort of switch tactics, and I usually send them like a 3-minute video first, like the plexus sort of overview, to kind of get them that feeling and that just there's some more emotions in that, I think. And then when they're interested, or might say, and if you're interested, watch this. But I do send Melissa's video a lot. And sometimes people are like, well, I don't want 15,000. Like, I don't want that much money. Or I'm like, okay, then don't get $15,000. Like, she's showing the value of our compensation plan and what makes it's so unique, and the potential. So some people kind of get hung up on that, and I'm like, okay, then don't do that. Go make $500. It's the same process. Whether it's the same process. So
exactly. I do the same thing. I will send like the 3-minute feeling one. And this is all in the verbiage on the team page. I always say, watch this one first. And if you like what you see, then watch this one next. So I'm sending both at the same time. I actually messaged Bob Heilig himself and asked him how to do that. And he replied, and he said, this is how I would do this. So I think that that's great wisdom. We will definitely, so the videos, Kayla, she's asking if we can share some of our favorite videos. Honestly, they're all there in your virtual office, and I want to challenge you to get in your virtual office. There's send, share, and invite, and you can see all of the videos, and then also on the Plexus YouTube channel. And so you decide what your favorite videos are, because we could talk about the, because of Plexus videos, we can talk about the different, like, just, I still love the gut health triplex, 1.5-minute video, but now we have the new videos by his name,
Dr. Logan.
Thank you, Dr. Logan. And so we might be replacing some of those. It's really what resonates with you and the person that you are messaging. Okay, April asked, in your time reaching out, Mandy, are you including a time responding and engaging in a conversation, or do you set aside separate time for that? Like, how are you,
that really looks, oh, good.
So how are you like organizing and structuring your day? I think is what she's saying. Like, you're reaching out, but during your reach out time, are you also responding and engaging, or are you dividing your day? Like, this is my reach out time, and then this is my engaged time. How do you structure your time?
Good question. So other leaders in Plexus will say, send all of your messages, get that out of the way, and then set aside, like, come back to these, like, there's no emergencies in Plexus. Like, you don't have to feel like you have to be on call. You can schedule that time. Maybe there's some quiet time early in your afternoon or whatever. I'm going to be totally honest. I have more time than I've ever had because I don't have a job anymore. So, and because a lot of my team and my connections are West Coast Alaska, and I'm 3 hours ahead of them. So it's like, if I don't get back to everybody, they might not hear from me. But it really, I mean, I can't answer that for you. It's whatever your day looks like. It's what you feel comfortable with. But just know that if you're getting into the conversation side of it, you're not going to be reaching out to as many people. And so you're still going to have to get that part in. And a lot of people will say, really the goal is to send 3 Plexus messages a day. Flat, like, everything's wrapped around the power of 3. Make sure you're sending 3. You can talk to 100 people, but you better send 3 asks or 3 videos. I don't have that structure right now. I'm just massively working, to be honest, which is not duplicatable, but that's
That's okay, because you achieved Senior Ruby with a full-time job, a very demanding, high profile. Like, you had a demanding full-time job. So and you did that in the nooks and crannies, just kind of like I did too. And so, yeah, I think you get to determine that. So I love that answer. And then Stacy asked, what if your prospects aren't on Facebook? Everyone has a cell phone. I would say I work my business a lot via text messenger, a lot more than I ever have in the past, I think, via text. And you can shoot over and ask, an invite, a video just as easy via text message as you can on Facebook. So it's a great idea to even look through your phone contacts and see, like, who do I love? Who's in my life? Who are my people? Your people are in your phone, right? Like, you have sometimes random people on social, but have you gone to your people, your warm network, and invited them? So Stephanie just said, should we be sending that message for the 3-day challenge as cold messages or follow-up? So there was one that I read that was as kind of a cold message. And then there was one that I read that was a follow-up, like, hey, we had previously chatted, and I'll put that verbiage. And then you guys ultimately send the message. That's great, but you know your people, okay? You know your people. And so if you are reading the verbiage, if you're reading and you're like, this does not sound like me, this will not work for this person, we are smarter than the scripts. Sometimes the scripts just work though. So awesome. Mandy, do you have any last thoughts?
No.
I
think I just gave it all. I really hope that people will embrace this system, because it does allow you to work a lot if you want and be efficient. It allows you to work for 5 minutes and be efficient. Like, it just allows you to be efficient and effective and confident and professional. And it's getting really, really good results. And like, I will teach my entire team this, and they know, like, my new ambassadors, I'm like, send this, save this in your phone, send this. And it's just this simple system. And what I'm doing is in our virtual office, also at Plexus. So there's no mixed messages or tricks or gimmicks. It's just what it is. It's the main thing. Like, I don't get distracted by all these other things. If I catch myself leaving like 5 messages, I will delete them, because we can remove messages now too. Old habits die hard, so sometimes.
I love it. Thanks so much, you guys. Thank y'all for being on tonight. We'll give y'all verbiage and everything. As soon as I can get this uploaded to YouTube, it will be in the comments. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.